in your closet and felt like you had nothing to wear, but you somehow just bought 10 new pieces? This is probably why. Maybe you've just bought new pieces from TikTok or styled your closet around one aesthetic, only for it to feel off. That's no coincidence. It's because you're only shopping trends instead of shopping your personal style. And today, we're gonna fix that. Hi, I'm Kenny Control, and I make content on all things fashion, beauty, and creativity. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and check out all of my other social medias. Now today we're going to be talking about the difference between style and trend. Because while trends can be fun and all, relying on them too much can actually dilute your personal aesthetic. Let's dive into how to filter out the noise, reconnect with your fashion identity, and build a wardrobe that actually feels like you. Whether you're into streetwear, minimalism, or a bit of everything, your style is what makes you stand out, not the algorithm. Let's start by defining the two. Style is personal. It's about how you choose to dress over time. It reflects your identity, mood, and lifestyle. Think of people like Zendaya, who has a very minimalist yet bold and colorful style, and she's very recognized for it. Or Tyler, the Creator, who somehow mixes streetwear and workwear with a dash of academia in a way that feels natural and clean. They're not the ones chasing trends, they're the ones setting them. Now when it comes to trends are mass movements. They have shelf life. Think of things like ballet core, blockette, or the whole Labubu trend that's going on where people put the little Labubus on their bags. It's fun and it's cute, but it has a shelf life, as I said, and it doesn't last forever. And when you think about it, we're living in a time of microtrends. Hyper-fast internet-fueled fashion cycles are running the fashion scene. What used to be seasonal now only lasts up to 2 weeks. And apps like TikTok and Instagram with their short-form videos, they're constantly pushing aesthetics towards us that feel urgent instead of long-lasting. And the danger of this is obviously overconsumption. You're always buying into new trends like tops and pants that are mixed matched and don't go together, and oftentimes you're never actually satisfied with it. It's like dopamine dressing, but it fades. And what you don't realize is that platforms are actually profiting off of this constantly. They're rewarding this constant cycle of newness, and brands like Shein or Temu are profiting off of this urgency. Oftentimes when you're scrolling on social media, you'll see things like hauls, but they're often trend driven. It's where people are buying things only because they're viral and not because they actually identify with them or feel that those pieces are representing their personal style. And then they're gonna have 40 mixed match pieces that don't go together, and then they're like, I have nothing to wear. When in reality you do, but none of them actually go together. And that is the issue, because everything is going to lack cohesion. But when you look into people who buy pieces to create a capsule wardrobe, all the pieces that they buy can be worn together in different ways multiple times. So you're never going to be sitting there like, oh, I have nothing to wear, because every single piece is multi-purpose. When you invest in pieces that fit in a way that's tailored to you, pieces with textures that complement each other, and those that have color harmony, you'll never be sitting there looking at your closet in confusion, because everything works. 1 in 2 people regret impulsive trend buys. Meanwhile, capsule wardrobe content on Pinterest and YouTube, like what you're watching right now, continues to grow for a reason, because it works. In order to start identifying what is and isn't your style, you should start asking yourself these questions. What are the pieces that I will always go back to? What silhouettes make me feel confident? What colors are repeatedly showing up in my closet time and time again? Pay attention to your habits and not the algorithm. A great way to keep track of what shows up constantly in your style is by documenting your outfits. And if you watched my last video where I talked about how to find your personal style, which I recommend watching before you even watch this one, you would know that I recommended the Parallel app, where you can actually link all of your outfit details and your outfit pictures. And not only will this help other people who want to get similar pieces as you, but it also helps you keep track of what individual pieces are in your clothing and what shows up repeatedly, so that you can continue that cycle for your new outfits. Or you can look at it and say, I do this a lot, maybe I want to try something new. It's a great way to document your style. You can also post them on Instagram and take fit pictures every now and then, or even put your own pictures into a Pinterest board and separate them in subsections. You can also watch my other video if you want to know how to make Pinterest boards that best represent your personal style. It's in the last chapter? No, it's in the second last chapter of the video. Second last chapter of that video, you will be able to find out how I actually curate my Pinterest boards when creating a new personal style. And this is going to be your foundation. And on that topic, let's talk about some exercises that you can do to actually figure out what is your style and what's just a trend. Like I talked about before, making Pinterest/mood boards. You don't have to just pin things and put them into your standard Pinterest board. You can go on Photoshop or Canva and lay out a little board and just keep putting in a bunch of pictures that best represent your style. Try to label each corner of your board so that you can tell which section is which and differentiate the different elements so it's more organized and not cluttered. Because I know most vision boards and mood boards overall tend to be a little disorganized, but it's better to make a mood board in a way that's organized and that you can actually read through and understand, because that way you'll actually implement the things on it. Another good exercise you can do is the 3-word method. The 3-word method is essentially finding 3 adjectives that best represent your personal style and using that as a foundation for your outfits. So for instance, you could look at this outfit and say that it's relaxed, feminine, and sporty, or you could look at this one and say that it's grungy, vintage, and clean. This will help you identify what you should be buying, styling, and just purging from your wardrobe when you're curating your personal style. Another good activity to do is make a style reference folder. So on Instagram, you can actually save things and don't have to just save them and just leave them. You can actually save them in folders. So maybe you're looking on your For You page when you're seeing a lot of pictures of people with outfits that you resonate with. Instead of just saving it or just liking it and leaving it, you can make a folder, and every time you see something you like, you save it to that folder. You can revisit it and see maybe they're wearing this shirt and these pants. I could probably make note of that next time I'm going on a shopping trip and get some of these pieces so that I can style them within my own outfits. The last step, which I think is the most important, is following people and engaging with people who have a very strong sense of personal style. Nowadays, people are always on their phones. They're on their phones most of the day, and you're probably scrolling on your phone for more than 8 hours without realizing it. And when you're on your phone, you're obviously absorbing information depending on what type of content is being pushed to you, and it's influencing how you go about your life decisions. If you watch a lot of Y2K creators, you're probably into the early 2000s aesthetic. If you watch a lot of people who make streetwear content, you're probably gonna wear a lot of streetwear. You don't realize how much what you absorb is influencing your everyday decisions. So actually following and being inspired by creators who you feel you resonate with because of their strong sense of personal style will help you build a strong sense of personal style. When it comes to my personal favorites, these are my top 4. The first one is obviously Wisdom K. Now, Wisdom K is an amazing example. He blends high fashion with anime references and cartoon references, storytelling. His style is very bold, tailored, and very expressive. He's not afraid of colors, proportions, character, or doing things that are very out of the ordinary or avant-garde. Then you have people like Jasmine Lee, who has very clean silhouettes and often does soft glam. Her style feels like an art student in Paris. It's very consistent in color, and her hair and makeup choices always support her wardrobe. Then you have people like Sam Norris, who gives off this streetwear meets skate vibe with a dreamy twist. He always is playing with layers, texture, and mixing nostalgia into his outfits. And when it comes to nostalgia, there's another creator named Elias Interlude, and her style is very based in the early 2000s streetwear and like Harajuku aesthetic. It's very ethereal and edgy, conceptual, performance-driven, and it's also rooted in Black femininity. At the end of the day, it all comes down to the fact that trends are temporary and style is everlasting. When you're curating your wardrobe, you should pick pieces that evolve with you, not things that you'll just wear once and never wear again. Ask yourself, does this reflect who I am or what the internet is telling me to be? Your wardrobe should feel like home and not just a trend report. If this helps you, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what your personal style is. Maybe describe it in 1 word, or use the 3-word method that I talked about earlier in this video. If there are any other things you'd like me to cover in this series, or you feel that you need help with when it comes to your personal style, let me know in the comments, because I'm always filming things. So if you tell me something 9 times out of 10, I'm going to make it in the next video. And I'm also still a small creator, so there's that as well. I think I mentioned this in the last video. And also follow me on all of my other social medias as well. They will all be on the screen. I'm trying to grow all of my social medias. Make sure you check out the video before this as well, because this is a whole series called Fashion 101 of how to find your personal style and how to really get into fashion. If you miss one episode, I know that every video is going to have their own separate pieces of information, but if you miss one episode before watching the other one, it feels like you do know what's going on, but it's like you're missing bits and pieces of information. So make sure you watch the How to Find Your Personal Style video after this if you didn't watch it already. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.